hunger 2030. Just in a few months now, or rather a month from now, we will be in 2020. That means we're only left with 10 years, basically, to go to 2030. We know of continents that were part of this bracket, say Asia, but now they're already out of the bracket. But Africa is still lagging behind. Do you think we will meet this target come 2030 to end hunger in Africa?
So it's interesting. I take that as I take it very personally, because I think that it would be a shame for Africa to be the only hungry continent in the world. It's a shame. We have 60% of the world's available agricultural land is in Africa. 70% of people that can do agriculture, 70% of our population live in agriculture. They have the means, they're interested, they want to do things differently. So it's an insult to these people to say that Africa will be the only hungry continent in 2030. But you know what? If we don't do anything with regards to improving financing to the sector, with regards to ensuring that we are investing in technologies, like we see here, the government has doubled down on its efforts to ensuring that seeds become available in this country, because seeds are critical to improving agriculture. Agriculture is a science. It needs good seed, it needs good fertilizers. We have to double down and make sure that we get investments in the agricultural sector working. We have to double down on policies and ensure that the private sector is engaging. If we don't do these things, if we don't pay attention, then we have a serious challenge. I would say that that is what AGRA is now focusing on. Focusing on how we mobilize the African continent, how we help people wake up to the fact that we actually can do something about it. I mean, I can, with my eyes closed, I can tell you where the 480 million people are, which part of Africa, where these pockets of hungry people, thanks to the work, to having been able to work in Rwanda.
I'd like you to tell us a bit of these pockets that are not doing their work right, that we still have, people dying of hunger in Africa still.
Yeah, I was saying, thanks to having worked here, it really builds your consciousness around what am I being held accountable for, right? So I have a very good sense of where we are not seeing the motion we want, where the 480 million hungry people are, and where we need to double down our efforts. But we can do whatever, we can say everything we want, but it will depend on the leadership in these countries and how they step forward. How do you
push them then?
How we push them is two things. We have the AGRF, which we were talking about here. The AGRF is an opportunity to really bring in and pull in leaders and help show them the progress the rest of the continent is making in places where we are making progress, and show them what it takes. The other thing that AGRA does is we have knowledge around how technology works. So we can be able to demonstrate to them and work with them to actually show them that this can work even in your country. It's not rocket science. It's just a little bit of investment in the right place with the right level of leadership, and these things will move. So we bring them into the folds of AGRF to make sure that they are meeting everybody, they are getting connected the right way, but also as leaders, they're having the right level of conversation around it. So that's one. The African Union is doing something else. Through the Continental Scorecard, which they do every year, and they're doing one in January, they keep talking about countries which are making progress and countries which are not making progress. They basically are able to show where progress is being made, and countries can have an opportunity to learn. So as AGRA, we are starting some form of leadership academy for the agricultural leadership. In this leadership academy, we'll also be able to take people to places where things are working and be able to demonstrate to them that, you listen, in Rwanda they do this, you can do it too. In Ethiopia they do this, you can do it too. In Ghana they do this, you can do it too. And this is what it takes. It's not rocket science. But it's also how we mobilize the development community and how we help them understand and really coerce around ensuring that development assistance is becoming available enough to help drive a real transformation agenda, that it is also being used the right way. Sometimes you feel like there's a lot of money around, except it's not adding value or it's not transforming. And we've started having these conversations. So for me, if we start with the end in mind, with what we need to see, zero hunger in 2030, if we start with the end in mind, and we talk about the leadership we want to see, number one, and we really find that leadership and start engaging them the right way. Number 2, we talk about the investments we need to see from the public perspective. Number 3, we talk about what we need to see from a private sector perspective. Then just maybe we might be able to reduce, not to zero, but close to zero.